The real debate is whether or not it's caused by not flossing, which is Francia's debate.
Francia is pretty sure that it is. Danielle,
I am certain.
Okay.
I have heard it is. It's deep rooted. We get in there.
Unintended?
All right, ladies, we are about to go live. Okay, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nevada Women's Film Festival, program number 1, part 2, our live Q&A portion. My name is Samantha Rodriguez, and I'm running the behind the scenes with my partner, Jemson Boyozos. Both of us are co-founders of Eccentric Artists, and we are serving as the festival's executive committee this year. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our moderator for today. And our moderator is Crystal. She is a 30-year resident of Las Vegas, Nevada. She was a student during the very first year of the distinguished Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. She is currently the CFO of Stickman Sound, a staple of the Nevada production community. In her 12 years as CFO, she has achieved considerable success working with big budget and award-winning productions. Crystal also regularly donates her time and services to budding filmmakers, film festivals, and charities. So Crystal, thank you so much for being here, and take it away.
Thank you so much. I am cast and crew of Second Team, which is one of our movies that is part of the short program this year. It is a comedy, and it's super funny. Sorry, I'm going through my head of the final moments of the film. We have the director, Rhea Pavia, that is here with us. We have the writer, Annie Weisband. We are also here with 3 of the actors, Francia, Ray. I knew I was going to do this, and that's why.
Raisa. Yeah.
Danielle, Savre. Yes, and we also have Gigi Zambada. And I probably butchered those, and I do apologize. To start with the first icebreaker, I was going to start with Rhea and just do the general, how did this come into existence?
Yes. Okay, so Second Team came into existence by way of a script supervisor who was working on a show, a separate television show that I was an acting coach for, and she was telling me about this film she was working on in Alaska that was boring and awful. And she said, but the saving grace was the drama that ensued behind the scenes that was going on between the stand-ins to the stars or the second teamers, because they had been romantically involved just before filming began, and they broke up just before filming began. And they had to be in close proximity to one another, and it was just an incredible amount of tension and awkwardness. And so Video Village and everybody on set was just, a captive audience to their awkwardness. And I thought that was, tragically comedic, and we needed to shine a light on it. Like, that was the impetus. And then I pitched it to my writer friend Annie, whose work I had been, fangirling on for quite a while. And she also dug the idea, and she crafted it within a week, the short film, because it must have resonated with you too, Annie, right?
Yes, definitely.
This year we've been focusing on script supervisor as one of the unsung heroes, and the fact that this is BTS, behind the scenes and stuff, really, it resonated with me because of being behind the scenes too. So, and then also the amazing plot twist, because every good comedy needs a plot twist. So, anything else you'd like to add to that? Was there any special moment of the millennial girl, or did you have an idea that that's what you wanted to go with? You said it was a movie in Alaska, but it ended up kind of being more of a sitcom.
Well, Annie, that's where you came in. You spun it beautifully.
Yeah, I think it was just, we had a lot of fun just playing with words, because it's never what the words mean, right? It's always the meaning behind them. So you can say something and it can mean a million different things. So I think that's probably why the script took a really quickly, wrote it pretty quickly. And maybe I may or may not have taken some things from, my personal relationship cat, and I'm allergic to cats. But yeah, it was, that's sort of, Rhea and I just went back and forth and bounced ideas off of each other. And then these incredible actors brought it to life.
Very cool. I understand for the actors that there was very little time for rehearsal, and then boom, but here's a script, read it or whatnot, and then you were put together. How was that? I believe some of you have met before, but not all of you. And how was that dynamic on this set?
Well, Danielle and I had worked together. I did my first movie with you. Was it your first?
It was my second. Yeah.
Okay. It was a movie called Bring It On, All or Nothing, years and years and years ago. But when Rhea brought the idea to me, one, I thought it was hilarious. And then two, she was like, who would you be comfortable with? And Danielle just came to mind automatically. I said she would be the person I would be most comfortable with. So that's how that came about. And then, of course, we were trying to find Gigi and Greer. And with Greer, what's funny is last summer I was teaching yoga sculpt for fun. And she had come to my class. And Gianna, who was casting the short, took my class. And she goes, what do you think of Greer Graham? I'm like, oh, she'd be perfect. Yeah, her and Danielle are perfect. So that's how that came about. And then you and Gigi, you had worked with Rhea prior, right?
Yeah, and Greer and I dated for 5 years too. So it's crazy.
No. That was so good.
Yeah.
No, I met everybody but Rhea. Yeah, I had worked with Rhea right before, so that was fun.
Yeah. So we all had a relationship already, and I think it really helped with the short. And Danielle and I have worked together a couple times now. So even though there wasn't much of a rehearsal, we've all been on set. So I think it came easily to us what this dynamic would be like.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that it kind of seems like there was at least a little bit of degrees of separation to kind of tie it all together. Let's see, Annie, I do have a question for you, and this is totally from my heart. How do I get my hands on the outtakes for the I'd rather be scenes?
For which scenes?
The scenes that are like I'd rather be and
oh
watching. Is there
yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Rhea.
Well, because we did throw his name is Akil Jackson.
That was in the script. That line was in the script, but
that one was. But
the other ones
we
weren't.
kept throwing him other now say this, now say that.
The mansplain Bitcoin. She made that up. Yeah, that was improv. Yeah.
And the funny thing about him is you met him on Grownish, right? He was a PA on Grownish.
He was a PA. We had we allowed all of the production assistants, anyone who wanted to audition, just put yourself on tape and we will just pick the best person, guy, girl, whatever, doesn't matter. And he won it fair and square. And we do have outtakes. I'll see if I can get
it. Didn't even take him that long to, he says it all in one breath too. And I feel like maybe it was 3 takes.
Yeah.
I was wondering just wondering if there were many different ones that were written out or improv and
those were the ones that made it, but there were many others. We had to pick and choose because we were on that time. To your question right before that though too, in terms of who knew who, as we said, Gigi and I had worked together, but Gigi and Greer had never met though, right? Despite your joking. But you bonded so immediately, right? Within 5 minutes, you guys.
We have a joke that it was so weird. We were just in our little green room waiting for something. And I don't it sounds so dumb to say we were tired and whatever, but there was a big bed in the green room. And I'm pretty sure there was a point, I missed it because I was asleep, but the two of us were dozing off. And there was a point where Greer was just should we just turn the lights off and get in the covers? And I was like, yeah. And we passed out for hours. And I think like Rhea like came in and we were just like woke up with like imprints on our faces. And at that point in a bed together, you become friends, you become close just because it was such a weird thing. We dreamt next to each other and just met like 5 minutes before.
Nice to meet you.
And we're both Gigi, Greer Grammar. So we had to fight for who got that name.
See, we have some questions. Let's see. What else have I got here? So, was it challenging trying to do like both of the normal acting of what is supposed to be the real show and then having the stand-ins come in? I will say the real actors, the over the top of that was really fun to watch. Was that difficult?
Yeah, that's such like the worst thing in the world you want to do. And Rhea's just like, go for it. She's like, you guys are too good. I want you to be bad. And that felt, I mean, it's so unnatural, but it was fun. You never get to do that, but you just hope people understand we're acting.
I'm like, I don't even know how to, like, I was trying to figure out the best way to even word this because I'm like, it's not bad. It's great in the way that it's supposed to be. And
that was all Rhea's meter because there was time where she was like, okay, yeah, too much. That was just like really bad.
I think I said the word trust many times. You like, just trust me. Like I won't let you flail. We'll tread the line.
You must have learned that from experience though, Rhea. Because you knew exactly what some bad things for us to do were. You were ready for directing bad actors.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
One of the greatest pleasures for me in watching it over and over again is seeing the same dialogue with that kind of over-the-top, stilted, whatever, mechanical delivery that we crafted. We're seeing these two, Francia and Danielle, really body it, just really make it their own and what's underneath the words per Annie's conversation at the beginning. That's so fulfilling to watch, the subtext.
One of the things I loved was watching Francia and Danielle go through the motions with the dialogue. It was wonderfully done. I mean, I was enthralled watching it because then it's like, what's going to happen next? What are they going to do next? And it's just, it was a lot of fun to watch. We've got some other things to go through, but I don't know. I just, I am fangirling a little bit because it was so much fun. It was just a fun movie and thoroughly enjoyable. And it is up for an Audience Choice Award. So anybody in the audience, it's, if you're watching, make sure you put that vote in because, I'm not trying to be biased, but it's great.
But I am.
Yeah, you can be biased. I'm not supposed to be, but
we think it deserves the award.
Yes. Was there anything that was super challenging doing it on a 2-day shoot? I know just trying to get cast and crew and people together, especially sometimes for a short film and passion project and all of that stuff. Did you have like the super long days? How did you get things coordinated time-wise, working around other projects?
All of the above. Yes, and long days, but I think that everybody was just, in it. They knew what they were coming into, right? Actors, writer, producer who just joined us, Julia. Hi. Everyone knew what to expect. We have 2 days in this location. We're going to dial it in. I tried to, get them as much rehearsal as we can, which was very little. We made sure for Danielle and Francia to try to choreograph the fight so that it wasn't too dangerous or we didn't spend too much time on it. And I think you ladies felt pretty comfy with that. Yes.
We just went for it.
Yeah, on the day. I do remember that when you were asking what was challenging, I was like, the whole thing went so smoothly. You ran it perfectly. But I remember that trying to figure out exactly where we were going to end up and how we were going to make that whole thing work was It was
Yeah,
exciting.
it was
though.
really,
I mean,
it was really the slap where I was like, please don't hit her. Please don't hit her. Sometimes I get real heated and like it happens.
and you know me, I wouldn't have. I'd have been like, ow.
I know, but I don't want to hit you. Are you kidding me?
That was slap. Yeah, and then flipping onto the ground and all that. I was just that is the one thing that did make me a little bit nervous, even though it was choreographed bit by bit. Like I just didn't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah, well, lucky for you, I'm a martial artist, so I know how to fall, and it was totally fine.
That slap was amazing. That was about the point you just go, oh. Were there any artistic choices you made, either with the writing, the acting, the directing, that really, like, from you into the film? Anything that was difficult with the, you know?
Here's what was a bit challenging. My Video Village actors, so the director, the cinematographer, everybody else, we only had them the first day. So we had to shoot the reactions before we actually shot the fight or much of the rest of the film. So that was a bit of a leap of faith and, made me a bit nervous, but it worked out beautifully. I mean, where we had them with and all of their reactions to the ladies suddenly making out, to the methodical subpar acting, all of it. I think that we did grab everything that we wanted to, but it was tenuous. Not ideal, but that's what happens when you're shooting over 2 days on a budget. You don't have everyone for the whole time.
Yeah, I really wanted to show how angry I was, and what I had was a knife as a prop. So I made sure to use that as I was chopping the carrots.
That was so good.
That knife. You made me
that
nervous.
was fun.
Very well.
Yeah.
Good. You should have been.
I was.
She was. And Danielle, when you just raised up your hand like that, it reminds me of one of my favorite moments of the whole short, which is as she's pretending that she's kind of reading off her hand. And then she goes,
oh, the cell phone.
Oh,
right?
that was a good, that was a good choice.
Oh, so yummy.
It was fun to do. I was,
Yeah, I love that you pretended to pull out sides from your pocket.
Right. And then, yes, Francia's knife moment was so genius that we had to do a whole lighting special effect right around it, which I loved. And then for you, Gigi, I remember you finding your kind of vibe where your bad acting became like kind of robotic. And then you decided like, I'm going to turn here.
Yeah.
And that really ended up working.
Hands.
Right. Yes, the hands. I'm going to drop my hands now. Those moments just, I don't get tired. I don't tire of them. I watch them over and over again.
It makes it fun. And I've watched the film probably about half a dozen times. And it is that I liked it. And then I knew I was going to be seeing all of you. So I wanted to make sure I gave it a good go. And every time there's like something a little different. The knife scene, the hand gestures, like I think it was probably the second or third time I really saw Gigi's hand gestures. Oh, that's
you miss them.
It was just the intensity of them. It was amazing. Let's see. We're pretty much keep covering some of these. Favorite moments? Anything that really stood out? I mean, well, I feel like we've got the slap and the knife and but anything else?
I'd like to hear from Julia, our producer down there, who popped in. She slid in on the DL.
Oh my God. Hi, guys. There's so many favorite moments. I mean, I can't really recall any, but oh my God. I mean, one line that doesn't leave me is when the director in the Video Village says, tons of cocaine will probably make this watch it.
The only thing
I just love that line.
Yeah, Phil Lewis. What does he say, Annie?
He says the only thing
that'll make this better.
That'll make this better
Massive amounts of cocaine.
Massive amounts of cocaine.
It's
She's like,
just
well,
so
we don't have time for that. Oh, I like the line that was improv that was, or I don't know if that was in the script actually, but with when he says, the director says, did she just quote Nickelback lyrics? And then he goes, you think I know?
Oh, yes. Yes, so good.
That wasn't in that he improv that. I think we like discovered that on set actually.
Yeah, that's my Phil. So fun fact, Phil Lewis and I went to boarding school together a long time ago. Like literally we've known each other for 35 years. I mean, and he agreed to come do this. He's a big director now, but I thought, let him play a director for us. And he agreed.
He was fun to work with because obviously I watched him growing up, so it was cool to meet him.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I think my favorite part of filming anything is the behind the scenes stuff because we all get so close. So, just like Gigi and Greer having their moment, Danielle and I had our moment in the bedroom, taking naps as well. And then also Ria's been talking about directing for a really long time. So it was really nice to actually see her in her element and really doing the thing after talking about it for a year? So, I think
probably, yes. Thank you. Yeah.
So I think with any project, it's the making of that's probably the best part.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the behind the scenes stuff is really, I kind of keep going back to it, but it is being able to see that part. It's reflective in what I see. I could, even if it's a smaller cast, I'd be like, oh, I know that person. I've seen that person on set. So it was fun to watch your video village. And I absolutely loved the lean in, the entire group just I was like, yeah, that is so real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and originally a guy, I think we gave the line like nice to a guy, and then we're like, no, we need a girl to say that because it was like we can't have feeding heterosexual male fantasy like.
Yes, yes, that's right.
I remember that. I just remember.
Well,
that.
also fun fact about the film: we shot this right after we finished filming season 3 of Grownish, right?
Yes.
So most of the stand-ins and PAs and crew from Grownish carried over to this short. So we had all already worked together before. So it was just like a fun project for all of us.
Yes. And I think we wrapped probably 2 days prior. It wasn't even like we had a week off. It was like, let's finish this 15-hour day and then we're going to go work with Ria.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Downtown LA. I was happy about those naps.
Man, we should have all appreciated those naps when we were younger more. I regret not enjoying them as much now as I should have now, for sure. One of the questions I was going to ask was about the script. Were there any changes once you got your cast and maybe the first read through or seeing how it played out with the personalities behind it?
Yeah, I think we did a pass after we heard the lines coming out of the actors' mouths because you always kind of need to do that. But also, Ria and I made it clear that, when I made it clear to Ria and then Ria made it clear that like the lines are not precious, but I'm never really, it's just a blueprint, and if it doesn't feel natural coming out of your mouth, then change it.
True. I also would love to go back and look at that first draft because I think
it's pretty similar.
It's pretty darn similar because they made it their own. You guys did. Yeah. Like, I don't think you changed much. Did you, ladies? I mean,
it's too funny to change.
It's too funny.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And
well, that was the thing. Once it was locked in, we couldn't change the lines because they had to, mirror each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think and Ria was so great. She just let us do our thing.
It was
any choice we made.
It was
any choice we made, she'd be like, yeah, keep it.
But it was the script, that'd be a cool thing that it would be a cool thing to like present to like at the festival, like to see the script, how Annie wrote it. It's so clear. Like you read it and you picture it immediately. Like it's like obvious. Like I can't imagine like Gianna casting this and you guys writing it. Like it's like, of course, like she wrote it so, it's just so well written and like everything in between that it's like, oh, obviously this is exactly what you want. It's easy to just like present that.
Agree. Right. And I remember her qualifying it as like, here's a rough draft. I said, this is not a rough draft. Let's shoot it. So I agree with that, Gigi, very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, and you mentioned Gianna. We're talking about Gianna Butler, who is our casting director, and she did really a phenomenal job. Francie was the first on board. The other leads fell in pretty quickly after that, which was beautiful. But then for the smaller roles, she really stretched far and wide to be sure that we have, just a lot
She's
of
so
different, a little of everything, right? A little of everyone. And it was and it wasn't like breakdowns went out to say female and this and that. It was just kind of like, whoever's right for the role, just come on down. We kept it very open. She kept it very open, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it did. It seemed like everybody, I mean, it's a short film, but it seemed like people enjoyed being there. If you can get that vibe off of, I think the coordination of like the group leaning in and the reactions, it seemed like everybody had an enjoyable time being on this set.
Yeah, for sure.
Really fun.
So something I'm curious about, what happens next? Is there anything that's going to happen next? Do we get to find out what's in the next episode or where, what's going to happen?
Look at all the grins. Annie?
Rhea?
Annie?
Well, we've been talking a lot about, we've had, some, interest in terms of people wanting to maybe adapt it into a series of some sort. And so we're currently actually trying to figure out what that series would look like.
What she said. Stay tuned. Let's put it that way.
I can raise my hopes a little bit that I get to see these characters again.
Yeah. Manifest. Let's go.
That's amazing. That would be so much fun. Let me see if I have any other questions. Trying to see if anything's coming in from the group. Nothing really new that we haven't covered.
Ladies, anything to add?
I was going to say, is there anything I haven't asked about? Any tidbits you'd want to drop on us?
I mean, so just funny. Thank you for enjoying the show. I mean, the short. Thank you so much. I mean, we all did it just for Rhea because we care about her so much. And I was excited to be a part of her directorial debut. I didn't know it was going to be this huge. So thank you to everyone who loves it and wants to see more. And congratulations, Rhea and Annie, because it's an awesome script.
Yay.
Rhea.
Yeah, go team. And we will get the band back together. Let's just say that.
So excited for the band. It's like there's always a couple of movies a year that you just kind of, like personally, I just kind of I'm like, oh, that's like an amazing movie. So this one I got a little attached to. I'm gonna admit it. So I think that about wraps up our discussion. Unless there's any odds and ends, but I think we covered it. And thank you, ladies, so much for being here this evening. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for dealing with my first time being a panel moderator. I really appreciate it.
First time, you're
great. Congratulations. We broke your cherry.
Yes. What a great group to do it with. I seriously appreciate it.
This is why Rhea's friends with me. I say inappropriate things all the time.
I'm here for it. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Good to see everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.